He charged like a bull. Fists flying, veins bulging in his neck. Johnny roared and slammed straight into Officer Ramirez. The sound of the impact cracked through the quiet cul-de-sac like a gunshot. "Get the hell off my lawn," he screamed, breath hot and ragged. But it was already over. Within seconds, 3, maybe 4, Officer Hayes had her taser out. Ramirez twisted Johnny's arm behind his back, and the cold steel cuffs clicked shut with a final, metallic snap. Johnny hit the pavement hard, cheeks scraping against the hot asphalt, the smell of rubber and exhaust filling his nose. His heart hammered so loud he could hear it in his ears. What the hell just happened? 1 minute he was yelling. The next he was face down, tasting blood on his lip. Let me back up and show you exactly how this HOA Karen turned a Tuesday afternoon into total chaos. It started with the usual nonsense. Karen Wilkins? Yeah. That Karen, president of the Willow Creek Homeowners Association, had been gunning for Johnny for months. He was the single dad who worked 2 jobs, kept his grass a little too long on weekends, and dared to park his old pickup in his own driveway. She'd sent him 3 violation letters, left passive-aggressive notes on his door, even knocked once at 7 a.m., demanding he fix the aesthetic. Today she'd gone nuclear. Johnny had just finished mowing when she marched across the street in her pressed khakis. Phone already recording. "You're in violation again," she snapped. Voice shrill enough to make the neighborhood dogs bark. "I'm calling the police. This is the last time you disrespect the rules," he said. Wiped sweat from his forehead. The fresh-cut grass smell thick in the air. "Karen, it's my property. Back off."
She didn't.
She dialed 911 right there. Voice dripping fake fear. "He's threatening me. He's coming at me with the lawnmower." Johnny froze. Threatening? He hadn't taken a single step. But the sirens were already wailing in the distance. When the cruiser pulled up, tires crunching on the curb, Johnny's blood was boiling. Officer Ramirez stepped out first, big guy, calm face. Officer Hayes right behind him, hand near her belt. "Sir, we got a report of a disturbance," Ramirez said, voice steady but firm. Johnny pointed at Karen, who stood 20 feet away still filming with that smug little smile. "She's lying. I didn't touch her. She's been harassing me for months." Karen crossed her arms. "He lunged at me. I felt unsafe in my own neighborhood." That was the moment. The straw that snapped the camel's back. Johnny's face went red. All the months of notes, the sleepless nights worrying about losing his house, it exploded. He took 1 step forward, fists clenched. "You're ruining my life over grass?" Ramirez moved fast. "Sir, calm down."
Too late.
Johnny swung. Not a full punch. More a desperate shove of pure frustration. But it was enough. Ramirez caught the arm, spun him, and slammed him to the ground. Hayes had the cuffs ready before Johnny could even catch his breath. "Get off me," Johnny yelled, voice cracking. The pavement burned his cheek. He could smell Karen's expensive perfume mixed with the hot tar of the road. His chest heaved. What have I done? The whole thing took less than 10 seconds. Neighbors started pouring out of their doors. Phones up, whispering. Karen stood there, arms folded, looking victorious. "See? I told you he was dangerous." But the body cams don't lie. Later at the station, when they reviewed the footage, everything flipped. Karen's 911 call played on loop, her voice trembling on purpose, claiming Johnny came at her with the mower, while the video showed him standing still, hands at his sides. The officer's body cams caught her exact position. She had actually stepped onto Johnny's property line to yell at him. Karen's smirk vanished when the sergeant walked out and looked her dead in the eye. "Ma'am, you made a false report. That's a misdemeanor. And the video shows you trespassing." Her mouth opened. "But he attacked the officers." "Yeah, the sergeant said. After you lied and escalated the situation. He's getting charged for the assault. But you're getting cited too. And the HOA board just got an anonymous tip about your little harassment campaign. They're holding an emergency meeting tonight. Karen's perfectly styled hair suddenly looked messy. Her hands shook as she clutched her phone. The triumphant glow drained from her face, replaced by raw panic. She tried to argue, voice rising into that familiar Karen screech. But the officers just shook their heads. Johnny sat in the holding cell, head in his hands, the metal bench cold against his back. He let out a long, shaky sigh. I screwed up, he whispered to no one. I let her push me too far. But karma wasn't done. By evening the video was everywhere. Neighbors who had stayed quiet for months finally spoke up, screenshots of her nasty letters, recordings of her screaming at other families. The HOA stripped her of her president title before the sun went down. The fine for the false report hit her bank account the next morning. And the cherry on top? The local news ran the story with the headline that made her famous for all the wrong reasons. Johnny got community service and anger management classes, fair enough. But he walked out of court with something he hadn't felt in years, peace. His neighbors actually waved at him now. One even brought over a casserole and said, "We should have spoken up sooner." Karen? She sold her house 2 months later and moved out of Willow Creek in the middle of the night. Last anyone heard, she was living in a tiny apartment across town. No HOA, no power trips. Just the bitter taste of consequences. Here's the real takeaway. Entitlement might feel good in the moment, but it always crashes hard. Johnny lost his cool and paid for it. That part was on him. But Karen? She built the whole fire, lit the match, then acted shocked when it burned her too. Sometimes the system actually works. Cameras don't lie. Neighbors eventually wake up. And the loudest voices aren't always the right ones. So next time you see a Karen stirring up drama over nothing, remember this story. Stay calm, document everything, and let the truth do the heavy lifting. Because in the end, justice isn't loud, it's quiet. And it always catches up. Johnny learned that the hard way. Karen learned it even harder. And the neighborhood? It's been a whole lot quieter ever since.